Day 660 of doing a LeetCode problem every day until I get a job. All right, y'all, we're back again. Another day, another LeetCode problem where we're doing daily LeetCode problems. And today we have question number 1576. Replace all question marks to avoid consecutive repeating characters. The difficulty level is easy, so you already know we're going to keep the solution as simple and easy to understand as possible. But before we get started, y'all, don't forget to like, hype, subscribe, comment, and share. And if you need any new Apple AirPods, go ahead and check out that link in the description so you can get you some. Now let's see what the question says. Given a string S containing only lowercase English letters and a question mark character, convert all the question mark characters into lowercase letters such that the final string does not contain any consecutive repeating characters. You cannot modify the non-question mark characters. It is guaranteed that there are no consecutive repeating characters in a given string except for a question mark. Return the final string after all conversions, possibly 0, have been made. If there is more than one solution, return any of them. It can be shown that an answer is always possible with the given constraints. All right, y'all, so that sounds simple enough, but let's go ahead and take a look at these examples anyway, just to make sure that we are doing this problem correctly. So in example 1, we have our input S equals a string question mark ZS. The output is a string AZS, right? So all we did was replace this question mark with a character so that there are no consecutive character or repeating characters, right? So AZS, there are no consecutive or repeating characters in this output. Explanation says there are 25 solutions for this problem, right? Because there's 26 letters in the alphabet. So that means this A could be any letter except for Z, because if this letter was Z, let's say we had ZZS, right? If this letter was Z, now we have 2 consecutive repeating characters right here. But now change this to A, or actually this could be anything but Z. So it could be A, could be B, could be C, and so on, except for Z, right? So that's why it says there are 25 solutions for this problem. Boom. So that's how we got this. We just turned this question mark into an A, and then it says only Z is an invalid modification as the string will consist of consecutive repeating characters in ZZZS. Boom. Or ZZS. Boom. So now let's take a look at example 2. So in example 2, our input S equals a string UBV question mark W. The output this time is UBVAW. Once again, we just replace this question mark with an A. This time there are 24 solutions for this problem. Only V and W are invalid modifications, as the strings will consist of consecutive repeating characters. If we put a V, then it'll be UBVVW, right? This doesn't work because there's 2 V's. And then if we did a W, it would be UBVWW. This doesn't work as well. So in this case, we can swap this question mark with any letter except for V and W. So there are 24 different solutions for that. We went with A for our output. So our final output was UBVAW, and that's how we got it, y'all. So I hope that makes sense to y'all. And now that we understand the question, let's get into the fun part, the actual solution. Solution's not that difficult. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to convert the string into an array of characters, right? So we're just going to declare a variable called chars, and we'll set that equal to an array. Open up the parentheses, pass in S. Boom. Then we're going to iterate through every index in the character array. So we'll come underneath this. We'll say for I in 0 ... less than chars .count. We'll open up the brackets. And we're only going to modify positions that contain a question mark. So we'll say if chars square bracket I equals, open up the quotation marks and pass in a question mark. Boom. Come outside of that, open up the brackets, and then we're going to try replacing the letter with the letters A, B, or C, right? These 3 letters are always enough because we only need to avoid matching at most 2 neighbors. So we'll say for letter in, we're going to create an array. So open up the square brackets, and we're going to pass in, say, quotation marks A, come outside of that, comma, quotation marks B, come outside of that, comma, quotation marks C. Boom, we'll come underneath this, or come outside of this, open up the brackets, then come underneath it, and we're going to check the left neighbor if it exists. So we'll say let left So y'all, let left is valid equal, open up the parentheses, I equal 0. Then come outside of those parentheses, 2 vertical lines for or. Then we're going to say open up the parentheses, chars, square bracket I minus 1. Come outside of that, square bracket, we're going to say does not equal character, open up the parentheses and pass in letter. Boom. Then we're going to check the right neighbor. So to check the right neighbor, we'll say let right is valid. This time we're going to set that equal to open up the parentheses I equal chars dot count minus 1. Come outside those parentheses or 2 vertical lines, open up the parentheses, chars square bracket I plus 1, come outside the square bracket, does not equal character. Sorry, y'all. Character, open up the parentheses, pass in letter again. Boom. Let's get this spelling right. Character. Boom. Now, if this letter does not match either neighbor, then it's safe to use. So we'll come underneath that and we'll say if left is valid and 2 and signs, right is valid. We'll open up the brackets. We'll say chars, square bracket I, come outside of that, equals character, open up the parentheses, pass in letter. Boom, come outside. Underneath that, we're going to say break. Boom. Now we're going to convert the character array back into the string and return by coming down here, and we're going to say return string, open up the parentheses, pass in chars. Boom. Let's give it a run. Let's see it's accepted. So let's go ahead and submit it. Make sure it's still accepted after we submit it. And look at that, y'all. 0 milliseconds beats 100% of users. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I like to see, y'all. So, y'all, with that being said, make sure you get one more look at the code. This is the top, or actually this is the whole code right here. So yeah, y'all, I hope y'all learned something today, and I hope to see y'all here tomorrow for another day, another LeetCode problem. See y'all then.